All right, Aziz, let's go maybe right up here. Just a little further. Okay, this is good. All right.
So, Dad, where exactly are you going? Where is the center of the domain?
Actually, I don't think they have a central location. That would be an attack vector. They're scattered throughout the entire galaxy, planets, and ships. Wherever they are, I will find them.
Do you need anything? New shirt?
No, actually, they'll see me as I see myself. Actually, I could get one thing. If you could meditate, that would help center me so I could stay focused.
All right, will do.
Members of the domain, I greet you from Earth, a planet on the periphery of our galaxy, in a solar system which you now claim as a territory of the domain, even though your control over that system is far from complete. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to hear what I have to say, and for what I have to ask of you. This may be of great significance to your future expansion within this galaxy. I come to you as a member of a group of Earth humans known as Farsight, and we have offered ourselves to speak on behalf of humanity to the domain as well as to other galactic powers, as I will explain in a moment. Your control over Earth's solar system is relatively new, as is true of many planetary systems within this galaxy. There are still many old Empire forces still active on Earth and around the entire galactic system that are opposed to the domain. I think we can all agree that anything that greatly shortens the time in which the old Empire forces can be decisively eliminated would be as beneficial to the domain as it would be to the entire galactic population. As you know, Earth has long been operated as a prison for the old Empire. You may have destroyed the central power structure of the old Empire in the galaxy, but its reach continues in a decentralized manner, driven by the self-serving interests of its dispersed and leftover forces. Earth remains active as a prison for the old Empire. The degree of oppression that has been experienced by the Earth's population for a very long time cannot be overstated. To this day, new prisoners continue to be dumped into the prison system from realms far and wide. And as you also know, a few thousand of your own members were trapped in the Earth prison system a few thousand years ago, and they remain trapped there. Now, I am fully aware that you have no current direct interest in the billions who are trapped in the Earth prison, except for the eventual release and rehabilitation of your own trapped members. The Holocaust that this galaxy has experienced over the past million years and the Earth prison itself were not of your making. And I understand that the domain has to be careful in how it utilizes its own resources such that you do not become overburdened by attempting to do too much too soon. But what I have to offer you today is a proposal, a very real possibility, by which you could regain your trapped members and also greatly expand your influence over the remainder of this galaxy, significantly shortening the expected thousands of years that it would otherwise take for you to eradicate the remaining influence of the old Empire. This proposal would also dramatically increase the support which many civilizations within this galaxy might offer you. Moreover, this plan involves very few resources on your part if executed properly. The plan is daring, but it is a realistic possibility. Let me explain. Throughout this galaxy, while the old empire ruled over hundreds of thousands of years, the dominant emphasis of that rule was simply the continuation of savage and oppressive control, the virtual and actual enslavement of an entire galaxy for the benefit of the oppressing few. Beings everywhere were confined to planets, recycled life after life, utilized as an exploited labor force, sexually exploited, tortured, kidnapped, memory wiped. The list of abuses are unending, but nowhere have these exploitive and punishing efforts been as extensively used than on Earth. Now, the Earth prison population contains some of the most talented and creative minds in this galaxy. When creative minds in nearly every realm emerged in art, science, the humanities, the social sciences, or any other area, the oppressive controllers across the galaxy saw them as a threat to the status quo and threw them into the Earth prison. Anyone who saw beauty in change was a threat, since change is the essence of creativity, and beauty and change disrupt the status quo. Added to this mix of creative geniuses is an extraordinary blend of diverse cultures from across the galaxy, since so many parts of this galaxy and apparently nearby galaxies have utilized Earth as a prison. The level of cultural diversity on Earth may be unprecedented anywhere else in this galaxy and perhaps other galaxies. These are all aspects of great potential for the Earth population, and these subjects could turn out to become highly valued citizens of the domain in the future. But of course, there are also less desirable elements within Earth's population, and I do not deny this. Seriously deranged and savage criminals from realms far and wide have also been thrown into this Earth prison, and I fully recognize that such criminals need to be separated from the remainder of the population eventually. Unfortunately, many of such criminals tend to be very active and engaged in positions of authority, and more than a few are the rulers of numerous nations on Earth, including some of the most powerful nations on the planet. This will eventually need to be sorted out properly. Earth is not a simple situation. I think we can all agree on that. There is another powerful group within this galaxy which is not yet aligned with the domain: the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Now, you are fully aware that this is a highly diverse group spanning many planetary systems and cultures. They are as opposed to the old empire as is the domain. But the Galactic Federation of Worlds also has a long history with humanity and Earth. And to be honest, its history has been a mixture of both good and bad, but mostly good, especially in recent years. In general terms, the majority of the membership of the Galactic Federation of Worlds would like to free humanity from the Earth prison, and indeed feel passionately about this. Unfortunately, they do not have the military strength to defeat the combined forces of the old empire, which include both the reptilian and Orion elements. The Galactic Federation of Worlds needs an ally, or what humans might more realistically call backup. You see, from our perspective, the reptilian and Orion forces, while currently allies of convenience, are not particularly brave, nor are they faithful to one another. They do not fight out of principle. They fight for selfish advantage. If they think that there is a chance that they will lose a battle, A good portion of their forces will retreat rather than engage in open conflict. This, indeed, is why the domain continues to engage old Empire forces. They flee and hide, attacking when they think there is a temporary advantage, and then hiding once again. In fact, that is indeed why you lost a battalion on Earth a few thousand years ago. Your forces did not even know that the old Empire was operating in the Earth's solar system. Stealth and deception is their primary weapon. Now, the Galactic Federation of Worlds could act to free everyone from the Earth prison, including your own trapped members. Indeed, they desire to act. However, the cowardice of the Reptilian and Orion forces needs to be utilized in this struggle if we are to succeed. If the domain military acted as a backup force, one that would intervene should the military of the Galactic Federation of Worlds run into trouble when confronting the old Empire military forces operating on and near Earth, then it is nearly certain that parts of the Orion and Reptilian forces would retreat, and the military of the Galactic Federation of Worlds would be victorious. Thus, the domain would not have to actually commit its military to battle as long as it is prepared to do so, should there be trouble that the Galactic Federation of Worlds cannot handle by itself. As long as the Orion and Reptilian forces are certain that if they become engaged in a serious struggle, then they would face the combined forces of the Galactic Federation of Worlds and the domain, then, once realizing this, many of their forces would retreat rather than face defeat. Consider the advantages of this strategy. First, the domain and the Galactic Federation of Worlds would begin working as allies. The domain espouses many of the ideals that are largely supported by the majority of the membership of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. You are compatible allies, but there is more. The population of this galaxy is fully ready for a change in governance. The Holocaust created by the old Empire has gone on for an unimaginably long period of time, and the galaxy wants it to end once and for all. Moreover, this galaxy's population knows that Earth has been the most seriously oppressed planet for a very long time. Should you help the Galactic Federation of Worlds in removing the oppressors from Earth, then everyone in the entire galaxy would know that you support freedom from oppression. You would win the hearts and minds of the galactic population, and this is not something that can be done with military might alone. Conquering an enemy militarily is different from winning the hearts of the people. Helping the Galactic Federation of Worlds in the task of freeing humanity from its oppressors would win you friends, lots of friends, and strategically, that is worth a lot in any galaxy. Now, in terms of your own members who are currently confined to the Earth prison, they will need new approaches to regain their memories. The effects of the old Empire amnesia system on all of Earth's prison population have no cure that is currently known to the domain or anyone else. No one else in this galaxy or any other galaxy is more prepared to solve this problem than specialists from within the population of Earth, those who have experienced the direct effects of the amnesia system. This is spiritually comparable to a profound psychological disorder, and the best physicians to treat such a disorder are often those who have personal experience with such a disorder. Humans can help your imprisoned compatriots, who, by the way, have now had thousands of years' experience living as Earth humans. They will understand one another, and they can help one another. It is worthwhile to allow this to follow its own course once the entirety of the human population is freed. Finally, let me discuss my own and Farsight's role in this. We know that you are not currently coordinating your activities with the Galactic Federation of Worlds, at least with respect to Earth and its imprisoned population. However, we have established communication with them, and we believe we can act as a productive link between the domain and the Galactic Federation of Worlds. For an alliance to form that will help all sides, it is crucial that Earth humans directly request this assistance. The Galactic Federation of Worlds will not intervene in Earth's affairs to the level that is required unless Earth humans ask for this assistance, and that is our role. Our authority to negotiate for Earth and its masses is due to the fact that we have acted to break free from the totalitarian system of social control that is enforced by the old empire forces still active on Earth, and by the fact that we stand before you here today. No other authorization is needed. As humans, we request assistance for all other humans on Earth. Traditional human leadership on Earth has been totally corrupted by the old empire forces. Indeed, old empire forces are deeply embedded on Earth today because of secretive deals that were made between them and traditional human leadership. Deception, lies, bribery, and direct mental influence were all used to establish these arrangements. Eventually, nearly all human leadership, minimally religious and political leadership, but also a great deal of news, media, and even commercial leadership will have to be changed. It is not the role of Farsight or myself to recommend how this should be done or how extensive this change should be. But it is nonetheless clear that current compromised leaders will continue to stand as blocks to human emancipation if they are left to continue to benefit from what they can salvage from the old system of oppression. So someone is going to have to sort that out. As for the secretive arrangements that were arranged by the old empire forces and the corrupted traditional human leadership, those arrangements were made under false pretenses. There was no element of truthfulness or transparency involved in those negotiations. Moreover, all of humanity was sold out by traditional human leadership, and there has never been a publication of the arrangements or their implications. To this day, humanity has not been informed of the arrangements or even that extraterrestrials exist with whom such arrangements could have been made. Control over humanity is fundamentally structured and enforced by total secrecy. Part of the role of Farsight is to end this secrecy. So, as representatives of Earth and Earth humans, we will request that the Galactic Federation of Worlds enter into direct negotiations with the domain for the purpose of forming an alliance to dismantle the Earth prison system. As Earth humans who have broken free from the control of the old empire thought control mechanisms, we have the right to do this. There is tremendous potential for benefits to the domain by establishing an alliance with the Galactic Federation of Worlds. This alliance can continue as the domain and the Galactic Federation of Worlds together seek to rid this galaxy of the remaining oppressive forces of the old empire. This will not only shorten the time needed to accomplish this, it will also act to create a galaxy of supporters for the alliance. The domain has the potential of gaining a galaxy of eager and willing supporters and possible citizens, something that could never be achieved by military intervention alone. Finally, humanity is now a very special group in this galaxy. It is a group that has been forced to learn how to coexist with its diversity. It is true that the oppressive forces of the old empire that operate on Earth have managed to throw humanity into a continuing state of crises of all sorts, including war and disease. Nonetheless, despite those destructive efforts, cultures of vastly different types have experienced living together, struggling to cooperate with one another. Of course, there have been conflicts. Cultural clashes are common in this and other galaxies, but nowhere has there been more progress in learning how to live in harmony with one another than on Earth. And this is despite the disruptive influences of the old empire forces. Humanity is now special, and beings who have lived through the human experience can greatly assist the peaceful coexistence of diverse cultures throughout this and other galaxies as a result of these common experiences. Humanity can be a resource for the domain, a resource that may not be found in comparable measure anywhere else. I ask you to consider this request. Allow the Galactic Federation of Worlds to enter into direct communications with you. Together, the domain and the Galactic Federation of Worlds can form an alliance that can change this galaxy for the better in ways that may be unprecedented in this and possibly other galaxies. Progress is not measured in technological achievements, since there are many places in which everything that can be invented has already been invented. True progress will be found within the social sciences and the humanities. Beings of all types, cultures, and species learning to live together in harmony. There will always be a need for adequate military defenses to protect civilizations from invading hostile forces, but military defenses are only as strong as the societies which they defend. And societies with populations who are at peace with one another are the strongest. Humanity can help build those bridges across the diverse populations within this galaxy, thereby strengthening the domain internally. Assist humanity now, in its moment of greatest need, and the domain will win the hearts and minds of a galactic population that will carry it through to success and prosperity far into the future. This is a tremendous moment of opportunity for the domain. An alliance with the Galactic Federation of Worlds will strengthen the hand of the domain dramatically and rapidly. Build on this. Let the Galactic Federation of Worlds strengthen the domain, and let the domain strengthen the Galactic Federation of Worlds. March into the future together as one, helping each other in ways that can only be glimpsed currently. This universe needs beings who work together. This is the example to make for all the universe to witness, an example of collaboration for the purpose of assisting in the betterment of a galaxy in desperate need. This is the example that everyone, everywhere needs to see across time, space, and dimensions. Let the universe say that if this type of humanitarian collaboration can be made in this galaxy, then it is possible anywhere, and anyone can do it. Together, let us show this universe how this can be done. Let this be the example that sends fear into the hearts of totalitarian oppressors and real hope into the hearts of those who are oppressed, regardless of where or when they may exist. Let all of us show everyone what is possible when species and cultures link together in common cause. This is the moment to do this. This is the moment to eradicate the darkness of oppression and turn on the light.
Hey Dad, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, well, what happened? What'd they say?
They were there. They heard. Now we wait and see. Son, we're done here.
All right.
You can take me home.
Okay.